sad being in the Nile University among some collaborators of mine. I am impressed from all the establishment being there, and I am hopeful that in the near future this university will be further grow up. Because it has a lot of high quality faculty members. With regards to the conference, I have a very positive impression from the first day because it's very well organized and everything runs smooth. Also, all the people attending the conference has a great of interest about all the subject, and I am sure that and this conference will also growing up in a continuous manner in the future. Thank you.
First of all, thank you for the invitation to participate in the inaugural version of NILES 2019. It was a great event. I had the opportunity to visit NILES university facilities. I was really impressed by the labs, by the equipment, by the facilities, but more importantly, what I liked most is the quality of the faculty and the talented students who are really doing a good job in doing research here and in publishing in very good journals. The event was good also technically. We attended some interesting presentations, and the social event was as good. So thank you again for the invitation, and I hope I will be part of next editions of NILES.
Dr. Ahmed.
Hello. Good morning, professors and colleagues. Welcome to NILES 2020. It's our pleasure to have you in the second version of NILES. I would like the first welcome speech with Professor Tariq Khalil, the conference chair and NILES University president. Welcome to Dr. Tariq.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Good morning, and maybe good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. I'd like to welcome all of you to, on behalf of NILES University, to the second Novel Intelligent and Leading Emerging Sciences International Conference. This is really a very important conference for us. This is the second version of NILES. Its first version was held about a year ago on the premises of Nile University. This year, we are welcoming everybody in a virtual mode, obviously, because of the COVID-19 and its consequences. So I am still delighted to have all of you participating in here, and I'm glad you are home, and stay safe, please. NILES International Conference is an annual conference that Nile University is holding and sponsoring because of its importance. The topics here are of great importance to Nile University. We are talking about all the leading sciences, technologies, and engineering applications. These, in the current world, technology is the foundation of all progress. Technology is the one that drives the economy. It drives every aspect of our lives. And particularly after the crisis that we are in right now with the pandemic and so on, we realized how technology is important for us, because without technology, we wouldn't have been able to meet and communicate as we are doing right now. NILES discusses the important technologies of the future to a great extent. Most of the things that we are seeing right now are a result of technological advancement that came through either scientific discoveries or through engineering work that indeed tried to solve some of our human problems and world problems. And therefore, we are talking about technologies that span a wide spectrum of applications, both in engineering and in all aspects of our life. Here we are talking about some technologies that traditionally come from the electrical engineering field. Some come from the communication engineering field. Some come from mechanical engineering, from industrial engineering, from computer science, and so on. It's the confluence and the interaction of all these technologies together. And the complex technologies is what's going to drive the future. Therefore, this conference, in its interdisciplinary form in which it's being held right now, is extremely important. And it is indeed a contribution to the knowledge as we move forward and as the world starts to depend more on digitalization and more on the various technologies that scientists and engineers can develop. So here we are welcoming many people from around the world and many of our students and faculty. And I'm delighted that we are into this international forum because we can exchange ideas, we can exchange information, and we can contribute to the betterment of humankind. So indeed, I would like to welcome all of you. I would like to thank all the participants. I would like to thank Dr. Ahmed Radwan and Dr. Ahmed Median for the leadership in here. I'd like to thank Dr. Ahmed Hassan for his leadership of IEEE Egypt section. I'd like to thank our provost, Dr. Wael, for leading the engineering effort at Nile University. And I'd like to thank all the participants from around the world and from Egypt and the region to this important conference. And I wish you a very successful conference. I am confident that it is going to be as successful as the first one, maybe even exceeding that success. And I look forward to the deliberations and to hearing some of your thoughts and ideas. And let's move forward with our knowledge to help humanity. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being with us today. Dr. Ahmed?
Thank you very much, Professor Tariq Khalil, for your words. And now Professor Wael Aql, Provost of Nile University and Conference Co-Chair. Please, Dr. Wael.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed and Dr. Tariq, for the great arrangement for the second round of NILES 2020. It's really a great pleasure for me to be to represent a small part of this conference, and it's really an honor for Nile University to develop, establish, and continuously and sustainably run the conference and being in such a wonderful shape. As a provost of Nile University, it is always a great pleasure for me to present the vision and mission of Nile University and how it really correlates the academic aspects with research and how they're integrating in each other. And one of the outcomes is really the contribution and the interaction and the collaborations between all elements at Nile University, faculty, supporting staff, teaching assistants, and the leadership until we reach this level of achievement with this wonderful conference. And along that way, it always gives me the pleasure to describe how we are really trying to utilize and exploit the technology in its niche and its edge in the development of the learning system at Nile University in such a way that we are trying to embed advanced control systems into the social aspect and into the learning aspect of the education at Nile University. Universities usually they have two tracks, the research track and the education track. Some universities, they also have the professional development and community service track. But at Nile University, we are blending those three pillars with the entrepreneurial and innovation aspect, where we are really not only focusing on education, but also focusing on education, building know-how, and transforming this know-how into the real products that serve the wealth and the human being in its widest form. That's why we are adapting and implementing a very ambitious project at Nile University, and it would be just a few minutes where I would like to describe this one, and in order to see how we are really implementing what we are learning in this conference and the technologies behind in exploiting the Industrial Revolution 4.0 and the Internet of Things and the advanced control techniques in improving and developing the education and research system at Nile University. It is a project that is funded by the European Union, and it is with ambitious target to actually develop a comprehensive academic system resource planning for a fully automated smart campus. It is a project with partners from the European Union and from the Egyptian side, and those are actually representing universities as well as the Ministry of Higher Education and the Authority for Quality Assurance and Accreditation in Egypt. The whole purpose of the project itself is simply to trying to use or implement best practices for university management and resource planning through a digital platform for monitoring, analysis, and automation of every single process at the university in order to achieve a set of performance indicators that are really measured as well as controlled towards a single objective. The single objective is quality education, and we are defining quality education in its wider term. That taps actually in every aspect, not only on the courses and the education deliverables, but also on the how things are run, the administrative, the research aspect, as well as the innovation and entrepreneurship nature of NILES University itself. It actually works hand in hand with every intelligence that is being implemented at the higher education institutions. Intelligence that is really tapping into the admissive processes, but from academic perspective. This is our objective. And in order to achieve such an objective and implement the control system that we are really aiming for, we really had to start with breaking down the institution into its missions, where those missions are split again and redefined in terms of processes that are serving those mission statements, and those processes are further split down into variables and procedures and steps for the achievement of the tiny small targets or objectives toward the ultimate goal of the institution itself. In order to do that, we really have started working with all aspects of or ingredients or key stakeholders at the institution itself, the research track team, the education track team, the administration team, the innovation entrepreneurship team, the all aspects or all elements that contribute to the well-being of the institution. And eventually, we have established a framework with all the processes and variables that control the system itself in order to have a fully controlled system that is really measuring accurately everything that is progressing and everything that is happening in the institution on the different levels, and provide them with that to an intelligent algorithms resident in computational servers to crunch the numbers and provide guided recommendations for the management in order to take that into consideration for the further development. It is a long-term actually project that starts with innovation in designing the processes itself, mapping best practices in order to make sure that we are not off the grid, but also including and integrating every niche on every feature that NILES University is always proud of, particularly the research and how it works hand in hand with the education pillars, innovation, entrepreneurship, and how this works hand in hand with the education and research pillars, and community engagement and development. Those sounds really big words, but actually it is what we are doing right now. And I mean, hopefully on next NILES 2021, we will have a full-fledged demo how we are really implementing non-linear control systems that really control every process at the institution, measuring its performance metrics and recommending control variables for the improvement and quality targets that we are always aiming for. This is one of our objectives, and I really was very proud that I am part of the team that Dr. Ahmed Radwan and Dr. Ahmed Hassan and Dr. Ahmed Madian are also members of the same team, that we are working together to reach that level, because we see that it is a true implementation and manifestation of control algorithms and control systems using nonlinear predictive control models to really implement on a social domain that has not been done before. Hopefully next NILES 2021, we will be able to have at least 2 or 3 publications, as Professor Radwan is always trying to push at NILES University, that have significant results that show that how this has been implemented and is done. Again, I know this may be not the a little bit off the track, but I was always very keen and very anxious to present that features or that effort that's being done in the leadership of Professor Tariq Khalil and Dr. Ahmed Radwan in this area. And when we see in the next year, inshallah, how things are progressing, we will always be proud of that. Again, thanks Dr. Ahmed Radwan, Dr. Tariq Khalil, and all the committee for hosting and actually organizing and arranging for this wonderful event, and giving me the opportunity to present how we are really going to try to integrate, link, and exchange everything with the research, academic, innovation, entrepreneurship, and all the aspects of an advanced modern institution. Thanks, Dr. Ahmed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Wael Al, for your continuous support, and Professor Tariq Khalil. Actually, without your support, this conference will not be now. And I know that there are many conferences have been canceled due to COVID-19. Thank you very much for your words and for your continuous support with Professor Tariq Khalil. Now it's my turn. I will share with you a slide to a presentation. So just 1 minute. Okay. Can I share, Hadil, please? Can you stop sharing? Yeah, thank you. Okay, wait a second. One second. Okay. I would like again to thank Professor Tariq Khalil and Professor Wael Al for their great support. Now, the outline of my presentation, it will cover the following items: why international conferences, and then the proceeding of NILES and TBC members, followed by the special sessions inside NILES 2020, followed by the special issue, and then the statistics about NILES 2020. Regarding why international conference, actually, there are many objectives behind organizing international conferences, and this list is part of these objectives, like discuss the ideas with top scholars and follow up latest research topics, improve collaboration, motivate interdisciplinary research, and publish in IEEE and Scopus database, and motivate young researchers. The starting point behind NILES International Conference came from one of the research mission inside Nile University. This mission is to discuss, investigate, and disseminate the outcomes of hot research topics and leading sciences to the community. This will help us a lot to follow up the huge revolution in science and applications. We have 6 research arms inside Nile University, as shown in the right figure. NU people, research centers, innovation center, grants office, research facilities, and research events. And we are very proud with our research centers: WINC, Wireless Intelligent Network Center, CIS, Center for Informatics Sciences, NESC, Nanoelectronics Integrated System Center, and our recent research center, CESC, Smart Engineering System Research Center. So during the last few decades, several words and new topics have been initiated and their potential application, like blockchain, like Industry 4.0, system on chip, 5G, machine-to-machine, fractional order, computational bioinformatics, MEMS, information security, big data, smart agriculture. So there are many topics that are really important for our research and community. So what we did, we classified most of these research tracks into 4 tracks. The first track is electrical engineering and technology. The second track is communication engineering and technology. And the third one is industrial mechatronics and mechanical engineering. And the fourth one, computer science and engineering, informatics, and biomedical engineering. The first track covers the following sub-tracks. It covers FPGA, ASIC, VLSI, hardware security, system on chip, IoT, membrastor, which new element, fractional order systems, nonlinear systems, and bioimpedance, smart agriculture. And the second track, which is communication engineering and technology, covers the following sub-tracks, which is 5G, optical communication, hybrid satellite communication in optic secure communication, AI, artificial intelligence in wireless communication, machine-to-machine and IoT, network, blockchain technology, smart cities, and many as well. The third track covers, which is industrial mechatronics and mechanical engineering, covers the following sub-tracks: robotics, mechatronic systems, sensors, pneumatic systems, fluid thermal systems, and MEMS, mechanical vibrations, nanotechnology, material science, advances for process industries, and many as well. The last track, the last main track, is the computer science and engineering, informatics, and biomedical engineering, which covers many sub-tracks like information security, blockchain, big data technology, peer-to-peer network software, engineering, mobile application, video processing, artificial intelligence and deep learning, code generation, bioinformatics, and embedded and real-time systems, and many as well. So we collected all these tracks and come up with our conference, the national conference, which is Novel, Intelligent, Leading Emerging Science. And today we are celebrating the second version of NILES 2020. It's our pleasure to have you all in this conference. And if we are talking about NILES proceeding, for the last version, NILES 2019, which is version 1, we received more than 100 papers with acceptance rate 57%. And this conference was in the last week of October, 28 to 30 October 2019. And actually, all accepted papers have been published in IEEE Explore in November, which is less than 4 weeks after the end of this conference. And we are trying to do our best this year as well to make sure that our papers, well, we will follow with IEEE team to make sure that our paper will be indexed in IEEE Explore and Scopus as soon as possible. And this year, we have IEEE number 50944. And actually, it's our pleasure to support IEEE as they are supporting us. So we make like 30% discount for IEEE members, for all members worldwide, to search for the quality of the papers and to make sure that we are in the right track. For the technical program committee members inside of NILES 2020, we would like to thank them all for their support, because we have like more than 12 countries. We have more than many keynote professors and colleagues from 12 countries, from Europe, from Greece, Sweden, Germany, and from Middle East, KSA, UAE, and Lebanon, Morocco, and from USA, Canada, UK, and India, and plus 14 universities from Egypt. All of them try, the main objective of this committee is to make all effort to make this conference successful and fruitful for all participants. And would like to thank them all for their great effort during the last 6 months. For the special sessions, we have 3 special sessions. This conference, we have one in the artificial intelligence and society transformation, which is a very booming science research track. And we received many good work in this track as well. We have another special session in memristor devices and circuit systems, which is a recent element what have been discovered last decade. And another research center, another special session about COVID-19 or coronavirus and its simulation, which is recent, and everybody focus on their research tracks. So we are trying to select the special sessions that are related to the leading emerging sciences, okay, like artificial intelligence, memristive devices, and coronavirus. And actually would like to thank also the Tyco office for their innovation competition. And Engineer Heba will discuss this later on, inshallah. And we will announce the awards, $500 in the closing ceremony, inshallah. Okay. For the related special issue, we are lucky last year in NILES 2019 to have a special issue in the International Journal of Electronics and Communication. Okay, and actually this special issue was really successful, and because of that, we are pleased to announce that we have another special issue in the same journal with impact factor almost 3 by Elsevier. Okay, and this is for free for the first 2 tracks. The best papers in the first 2 tracks will be nominated to submit a full version of a paper, a big version with more contribution, and in this special session, this is a special issue. Okay, and would like to, inshallah, next year to have more special issues to support the researcher as much as we can. For the statistics about NILES 2020, the general statistics, we received 184 papers. The number of reviews is 553 with 667 authors from 24 countries and 48 different topics. And the accepted paper is 109 with acceptance rate 59%, which is good, well related to the top and most famous conferences, international conferences. These are the 48 topics that are participated in our conference. As we see, most of the papers in the artificial intelligence and deep learning, mechatronic systems, robotics and automation, software engineering, smart cities, intelligent systems, and simulation of COVID-19, and lots of topics, which are really hot topics and leading sciences worldwide in this interval. This table shows the statistics for the top topics in this conference. Like in artificial intelligence, we received 43 papers and accepted 21 with acceptance rate almost less than 50%, and so on for these topics. And the last column shows the acceptance rate. It varies from 0.2, sometimes 0.3, 0.4, 0.9. It depends on the quality of the reviews we received. If we talk about the reviewing phase statistics, we have, as we said, we have 184 papers, 553 reviews, and 667 authors. This table shows the number of reviews for each paper. So we have three papers with 1 review, and they are almost rejected because they didn't follow and respect the guidelines of IEEE. So they are rejected immediately. So we didn't ask for another reviews. And 84 paper with 2 reviews, 50 paper with 3 reviews, and so on. And if we look for we have like some papers with 7, 8, 9 reviews to make sure that all papers, if we have conflict in the decision, we make second and third round to make sure that the selected papers and accepted papers are of good quality. and the average number of reviews per paper is more than 3, which is very good in international conferences. The statistics by country, we received 10% from outside Egypt and from 24 countries, okay, like Algeria, Bangladesh, Cameroon, Germany, Nigeria, Pakistan, Singapore, Saudi Arabia, and so on. And the distribution is shown in this figure, okay? And we are happy that we have 6 keynote speakers today. Dr. Madian will discuss this later. And finally, I would like to thank you all for your support. And I would like to enjoy the conference and enjoy the fruitful discussion. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, now we would like to welcome Professor Ahmed Hassan, the chairman of IEEE Egypt section. Dr. Ahmed, the floor is with you.
Thank you, Dr. Radwan. If you can allow me just to share something for
Yes.
the audience. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, and good morning, all. I would like just to present something about IEEE Egypt section, history and activities with you. So I would like first to thank Dr. Tariq Khalil and Dr. Wa'il Aql and the organizing committee. It's a little bit difficult for me as I'm the chair of Egyptian section, but also usually in this occasions, we usually say some compliments for the conference and the organizers. This may appear as a conflict of interest today because I'm proud that I have a small role in this with the magnificent team in Nile University. So I will focus on IEEE and Egypt section. Egypt section is a very old section in Region 8, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. I will share with you the vision of Egypt section and its history, the section structure, and some activities that are made by the section this year. IEEE, as a professional global organization, has more than 400,000 members in different countries all over the world. It's characterized by a good portion of students in all universities. We have more than 100,000 students, and we have several student branches in universities. And these student branches make also chapters of some special interest groups or some technical chapters. The mission of IEEE and vision is shown here, but I usually prefer the slogan which is found in the right bottom of this page. And it summarizes everything: advancing technology for humanity. We are trying to make our best to advance technology for the benefit of humanity, for every person in this on this earth. So we have some values that we are proud of having. We usually work in partnership with others. We have integrity in action. We have global community building, and we are trying to serve the humanity in order to have growth. And in order to do this, we should trust each other, and we should trust our partners as well. In Egypt, I told you that we are celebrating the 65th anniversary as we were established in 1955. And Egypt was known to be the oldest government in the world history, with several achievements even in the modern age. We had the second rail road in the world and the third telecom operator. And in Region 8, we were the second IEEE section in Region 8. The section had been led by several leaders, starting from Hammam Mahmoud, who was a great professor, although he didn't continue his PhD in UK due to World War II. This man was a role model who played several important roles in 1956 war in Egypt, and he donated all his salaries from Cairo University to fund students, and he also donated his library to Cairo University. This man was the founder of the Egyptian section of IEEE, and now the section grew and have many technical chapters. Everyone has some focus on some technical aspects, either in power and energy, communication, computer, signal processing, solid state circuits, and so on. And these technical chapters organize a lot of international conferences in Egypt every year. And this is done in collaboration with universities. In addition, we have what is called affinity groups, which has members who have the common interest. For example, the life members are senior scientists who are 65 years old or more and had spent 35 years serving in IEEE. These are called life members, and these life members are our mentors. They are our advisors in every aspect in IEEE, in Egypt section and worldwide. In addition, we have an affinity group which is called Women in Engineering, in order to serve the rights of female and help our engineers making their success without sacrificing any other aspects of their life. In addition, we have the young professionals, who are people who are working in industry for 10 years in engineering. We have also student branches. We have, in order to know the activities that we are doing, you can download our application, IEEE application, which can give you information about the activities in every place. And with the movement to online and virtual meetings, you can also participate and learn from other virtual meetings that that are not organized in Egypt only. This is some photos that I want to share with you. This is the Life Member Affinity Group establishment last year. This is the first meeting of IEEE Egypt section elected board with the members, and this is the special interest group of humanitarian activities. And you can see in the background a lot of Nile University places as well. This is a workshop for IEEE standards team who came to Egypt last year in order to talk about the standards and publications of IEEE, including journals and conferences and so on. And this was the first meeting this year for the young professional. And you see here a lot of young people working together. We have many activities like Egyptian Engineering Day that was canceled this year because of COVID-19, NASA space applications as well. We have WE, which is the Women in Engineering Affinity Group, and it helps female engineers doing their task. And this is WE of Helwan branch. They are going to students in schools in order to encourage them to join engineering. And actually, they changed the world by their volunteering and their time and the vision. We moved online in several activities. I will show you some of these activities. Some are organized by IEEE Young Professional, for example, digital transformation in healthcare, training for cybersecurity in collaboration with the Cisco. We have also some international speakers in technology management, in artificial intelligence, in accreditation and quality of engineering education. Thank you for your time. I hope I give you some glance about IEEE activities in Egypt and worldwide. And sorry if I take more time than expected. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ahmed, for your nice presentation. Now, Engineer Heba Labib, Director of Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Competitive Center at NU, and to talk about the Tyco Innovation Award. Please, Heba, go on.
Hello, everyone. My name is Heba Labib. I'm the Director of the Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Competitiveness Center. And if you would allow me, I'd like to share a small presentation about the center and specifically about the role of the Tyco, Technology Innovation and Commercialization Office, and how is it that we are loving our collaboration with NILES conference. So if I may share a slide, so Dr. Ahmed Hassan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, here. Okay, so speaking about the Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Competitiveness Center, the center, from its name, it actually performs the activities that are related to that title, with a vision to be one of the leading innovation and entrepreneurship centers in Egypt and in the region, and pushing our boundaries for to support the collaboration between the in the triple helix model, the public sector, the academia, and the industry. And at the same time, our mission, we have been doing to make sure that our vision would be achieved would be applying what we call the transformative and entrepreneurial management of technology. And this is very much related also to the university, one of the university's flagship programs, which is the management of technology. And we here try to apply these principles in order to achieve what we talk about. So what is it that we do at the IECC? As our name, our title suggests, so we do everything related to innovation in terms of new product development, capacity building for innovation, and we do a lot related to technology transfer and commercialization. When it comes to entrepreneurship, we provide a lot of entrepreneurship awareness, capacity building. We support young entrepreneurs to build their prototypes, and we also provide incubation, and we'll be talking about the numbers that we have incubated so far. And for the competitiveness part, there is part related to research, where we do research on innovation, research on technology forecasting and foresighting. And there's part related to the industry directly, where we're working with the Export Council, we work with the chambers of industry and with industry organizations to support industry in various forms. Over the past years, we've had a good number of projects, and they were quite diverse. They were related to parts were entrepreneurship challenges, part We're supporting indigenous population in terms of commercializing their products. We also have had projects related to incubation, and maybe one of our most prominent projects here is NILES, which is funded by the Central Bank of Egypt and the banking industry. And it supports small and medium enterprises and startups that are working in the fields of manufacturing, agriculture, and digital transformation and automation, and it supports them in terms of providing capacity building, providing incubation support, innovation support to develop prototypes or develop new products, and supporting SMEs towards their scalability. If we look at our numbers in the past couple of years, we've supported more than 92, we've incubated more than 92 startups. We've had over 160,000 followers on social media. We provided over 3,500 training and mentorship hours. We've supported small and medium enterprises, more than 100 companies in terms of support through either knowledge transfer or supporting them in new product development. And we've had presence in 15 governorates in Egypt. So our activities are not limited to Cairo, but they are all over Egypt, nationwide. Now come our TICO office and the Technology Innovation and Commercialization Office. From its name, it supports the innovation activities and commercialization of research here at university. And we do jobs related to liaising with industry or providing entrepreneurship support, helping in proposal development for grants. Sometimes we even put our knowledge towards enriching the academic content, especially in postgraduate courses related to technology commercialization. And basically, our philosophy at the TICO office is related to the idea of innovation. How is it that we achieve innovation? We identify problems. We try to push the problems that we have identified to the academia, and whatever the solutions that have come out, we try to do our best to exploit them. And this is where we claim that we are doing innovation. If just talking about the concept of technology commercialization, it's the process of transforming an idea into a new or improved product or process. And basically, this is what happens at the university research, where the idea of knowledge and science is transferred to innovation. Our role is to help to reap some benefit out of such innovation so that more funds can go towards research and feedback the loop. And a big part is about bridging the gap between where the academia is operating and what the industry actually needs. And so we play two main roles, internal and external. So internally, a part is awareness. So we give information sessions. We provide awareness about what type of research is the industry interested in. And at the same time, we do our internal scouting. So we have to do our homework. So we work very closely with the research office in order to identify the topics of research that the professors and the researchers at NILES University are working on, and accordingly try to matchmake or liaise with industry. And that's what brings our external part. Part of our external activity is the opportunity hunting. So knowing what exactly the industry needs and formulating that into research projects. Doing a lot of industry outreach. So we connect, as I mentioned earlier, we've been connecting with the Chamber of Industry, with the Engineering Export Council, and with various companies. And of course, there's a lot of connections that we have built throughout the years with the complete ecosystem, whereas those who are providing funding, those who provide other forms of support, or networking with other research partners so that we co-create or co-develop work together. So in a nutshell, what we work on is turning research into research results into solutions for the society, and we bring society problems to the research laboratories. And one example of that is a knowledge transfer activity we have done with one of our professors, Dr. Irene Sami, for example. She has been working on biodegradable plastics. We managed to identify 30 manufacturers of biodegradable plastics, and we've arranged for a knowledge transfer activities so as to transfer such a research to the application. And after doing the capacity building for these manufacturers, we have worked with them further on providing consultation so that some of them would actually convert their production into a more environmental friendly production. And eventually we've also helped these manufacturers match make with other ecosystem players who are interested in the final product. So our activities, very briefly, we're working, starts with the disclosure of what the research is. We do a little more scoping in order to understand. A researcher on a validation to understand to what extent their research is pertinent to the industry needs. We also in parallel work on the protection where we do the patent filing for the research, and eventually it ends up with building a business case for commercializing. We're very proud to be part of the NILES2020 consortium, and we've done that through providing an online session about IP management by one of the renowned IP experts in Egypt and the Middle East. We've also sent an assignment about IP patent search for participants, and during the final ceremony, we'll be very happy to announce the winner for our $500 cash award. Thank you very much, and I was happy to be taking part in this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Keba, for your nice presentation. And now the most important talk, Professor Ahmed Madian, the conference program chair and the IEEE Secretary, Egypt section. Dr. Ahmed.
Thank you, Dr. Radwan. It's one of, I think all the talks was very nice. I'm trying to summarize the program itself. So I hope that yeah, the screen sharing is presenting at each one. Okay, so I will demonstrate quickly the conference technical program work, how the program is working during these 3 days, and I will present the keynote speakers. Dr. Ahmed Radwan has already presented a special session. I will just go through it. And then, as we are a virtual conference, so we will demonstrate quickly the Zoom session guidelines to have a smooth conference. And I will present the no-show policy presented by IEEE in the virtual conferences. And finally, we will talk about the awards. Okay. So for the conference technical program, as Dr. Ahmed said, that we have already a large number of submissions, and it was a challenge to cooperate most of those papers in the same session on different sessions. So we have 8 oral sessions distributed all over the 3 days, and 3 special sessions has been already added for the conference, and we have already a graduation project competitions that will be running at the 3rd day. The program is divided on the 3 days. We have already made for you a very crowded program that you have to take around. So the opening is starting now, and we are on Saturday, 24 October. We will have after this presentation, we will have our first keynote speaker, Dr. Professor Mohammed Ismail. I think he's already presenting in the session now. We have a parallel 4 sessions from 11 to 12:30. It's already all demonstrated in the program. If you want to access any session of this session, you will find the logo of Zoom, and those sessions are hyperlinked. So if you clicked on the name of the session, you will be joining the Zoom session running at the needed time. This means at 11, if I press in one of those 4 sessions, you will be directed directly to the program running. Okay, then we'll have a small break and we'll continue with our second keynote speaker, Professor Ferry Asmouli. And finally, we'll have our 4 sessions, parallel sessions running from 2 to 3:30. Those would be at the end of the first day. For the second day, we will start with 4 parallel sessions from 10 a.m. to 11:30. It's 90-minute presentation. So those sessions are already distributed, and you can find all the program details and the paper details in the booklet of abstract sent to you by email to all authors before yesterday. Okay. Then we'll have our third keynote speaker, Professor Ahmed Abdelmanem from EJAST. Okay, this will be from 12 to 1. After that, we'll have a small, our 4 parallel sessions starting from 1 to 2:30. Those are the sessions already distributed in parallel connection. And as I said, if you want to access any session, just click on the name of the session inside the PDF sent to you by email, and you will be connecting to the virtual Zoom session automatic. Okay. Finally, we will end the day by an interesting keynote speaker talk by Dr. Ahmed Samir Fahmy. This will be from 3 to 4. The third day, from Monday, 26 October, we will start with the 4 parallel sessions, covering the 4 tracks of the conference. Okay, and then we'll have a small break, and then we'll go for our 5th keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Penny Liu, okay, from Imperial College, and we'll talk about his talk now in the keynote speakers. From 1 to 2:30, we'll have 1 parallel session, special session 3, simulation modeling and the AI spread of coronavirus, plus the graduation project competitions would be carried out. Then we will have our last keynote speaker, Dr. Ahmed Fath al-Bab from EJAST. And finally, we'll have our closing ceremony, and we will announce all the awards during the closing ceremony. Okay. So for the keynote speakers, we have already actually prepared for you, or invited for you, for all the attendee, a number of keynote speakers that already are, I would say, very interesting. I love most of them. Okay, the first keynote speaker, Professor Mohammed Ismail. Professor Mohammed Ismail is Professor and Chair of Electronic and Communication Engineering at Wayne State University, Detroit. He's a fellow IEEE, adjunct professor at Qatar and Abu Dhabi University of Emirat University. Sorry, United Arab Emirates. His talk would be under title Self-Powered IoT System on Chip Platform for Wearable Healthcare, which will be an updated project that has been implemented, and he has an interesting results that we'll share with you. And I think he has many patents that would be connected with Cleveland. I will leave the detail of the talk to Professor Ismail. And for Professor Ferry, he's a fellow of IEEE, fellow of High State OSA, Optical Society, and senior member of IEEE, Professor University of Newcastle, United Kingdom. His talk title would be Organic LED-based Visible Light Communications. This is the talk title. And he will talk mainly about how to use the visible light communication with organic LED part. Professor Ahmed Abdelmanem, he is a Basic and Applied Science Institute, Material Science and Engineering Department from Egypt, Japan University of Science and Technology, EJAST in Egypt. And his interesting talk would be about flexible graphene for energy and electronic applications. He will demonstrate different samples and different practical work has been done inside EJAST labs. And he will demonstrate how to characterize that and how to use it in different applications. Dr. Ahmed Samir Fahmy he's now joining the Department of Medicine in Cardiovascular Division, Harvard Medical School in USA. Dr. Ahmed will talk mainly in one of the most interesting topics right now. It's talk mainly about deep learning for medical image analysis, opportunities and the challenges. He will demonstrate how to use a deep learning in the analysis of medical images and diagnosis, and what is the challenges and opportunities to open different research tracks. Okay. And Dr. Penny Liu is a senior lecturer of Center of Hamelin and Department of Surgery and Cancer, Imperial College London, UK. His talk would mainly concentrate about the body sensor networks for future models of care, how to integrate between the body sensor networks, and how to model the parameters and how to map these for the caring services for the healthcare. And finally, our last speaker would be Dr. Ahmed Fath al-Bab from EJUST. He would mainly concentrate more on micro devices for medical application and micro PCR. I think he will mainly demonstrate how the practical work done inside EJUST in the field of micro devices and medical applications would be served mainly under the umbrella of medical applications. Those are our keynote speakers. For the special session, we have 3 special sessions presented during the conference program. It's AI and society transformation, membrane and nonlinear system implementation, and the simulation modeling and AI spread of coronavirus. Those are demonstrated and has been assigned for the 3 days of the conference. Okay, you will find in each day 1 special session. So this moves us for the part of virtual session guidelines. As we said, we are due to COVID-19, we already have moved. Most of the conference has been already canceled or moved to the virtual, and we choose to move to the virtual option. So we are using Zoom connection, as I said, in the program PDF that has been sent to all the authors and all speakers by email. You will find by a link. Each session name is hyperlinked to the Zoom session. So if you click on the name, you will be joining the session directly. Okay. We have different types of presentation. We have a keynote speaker, which it mainly lasts for 6 minutes. It will be 45 minutes presentation, and we'll open the question period for 15 minutes. If you want to use raise hand or chat tool for sending a question, it will be good. Our coordinator will be following up, and we'll see who has questions, and we'll present the question for the professor, and he will answer them. Okay, for the oral session, it will be last for 90 minutes. And this means if we have 6 papers per session, so you'll have 12 minutes for presentation and 3 minutes for questions. Please, for all presenter, rename yourself with the paper ID first, and then use your name. So I wrote a small example here about using 23_Ahmed Madyan. So if you have a paper with the paper ID, just write your ID and then followed by your name. If you have any problems or you have any questions, please use the chat toolbox Zoom to send any questions during the presentation. Because of the time limited of the virtual session, we will, the chairs and co-chairs will collect the questions and will try to group them in a minimum number of questions for the presenter, so we could make more efficiency from time. If you have been called by name, or if you have been calling a paper or something like that, you could always raise your hand to give us a feedback if you have any problems during the presentation. Okay, those are the 2 types of presentations that will be used during our conference, and those are the part of the guidelines. So what is mainly the presenter needs? You need to be ready with installing the Zoom and to create your own account, test your internet speed, have a microphone that's connected to the computer would be an advantage to reduce the noise. And please make sure to join your session 10 minutes earlier than the start. The moderator will be ready in 10 minutes online. So if you have any problems, please use the tools of raise hand or chat for everyone, and we'll handle all the problems, technical problems during the sessions. Okay, during the session, if you are a presenter, so you have to be ready with your PowerPoint ready, and then when you get the permission from the moderator, you will be getting to share your screen with the presentation and present your work. You will get the notification before the end of your time by 2 minutes. It's just to be ready. And for the question period, the screen model will be returned back to the moderator so he can be ready for the next presentation. The session chair will collect all the questions through the chat tool, and then he will ask the presenter, and he has to discuss those questions during the 3 minutes. If you have more questions that not handled during the session, you could always use the chat box to privately chat the authors and have all the discussion inside, okay? If you have any problems during the presentation, please raise your hand, because to make sure that the session is running okay, we will mute all the participants unless the one has presenting as the chair and the co-chair, okay? So the chat tool would be an effective way to communicate by the session chair or the moderator. No-show policy, because of the problem of the virtual COVID-19, IEEE has been changing the no-show policy, that if you didn't, if you are not present during your presentation in the virtual session and you didn't answer your questions, so you will be considering as a no-show policy. So running a video without a presentation, without your physical presentation, this will be considered as a no-show policy. Okay, so please be ready during your sessions to cover all the questions. Okay, for the certificates, after we finish the conference, and we will take all the attendee showing attendee and the presentations, additional certificate will be sent to all the authors by email. Okay, and also for the keynote speakers. Okay, so you don't need to do more than presenting your paper, and then we will handle all the other issues by email. Okay, so this year, NILES 2020 presenting a generous awards. We have 3 places best paper award that already computing during this session. We have forming a committee for the best paper award, and this committee has selected some of the papers that has been evaluated in the first run by high evaluation, and those papers has been nominated to another committee. This committee will be attending all the presentation during the conference session, and they will give grades for each presentation, and based on that we'll select the first and second and third. Okay, Taiko Award, and I think Dr. Hiba Labib has been covering this part. And we have for the graduation competition award, first and second place will be have an awards from NILES 2020. That's all for me, and thanks for listening.